Okay, if you're like me, I'm sure you like to use Jobb software to find unauthorized trades. Unauthorized just meaning that Jay didn't send out a HIRA, but that doesn't always mean there might not be an active report that comes out. For instance, it's Sunday evening, February 14th, and I noticed that the Japanese quarterly GDP report will be released at 6:50 Eastern Time. Given our volatile markets, this could be an active report. So what I'll do is I'll have the report trigger at 18:59 and 59 seconds. I'll use a bracket of 3. I'll use a target of 7 ticks on my first contract, 22 ticks on my second contract in case we got a lot of action on the report, and I'll give myself 6 seconds before the report is generated to start. So here we go. Let's see what happens. We got 2 seconds left.
Order pending.
Okay, so our targets are on the screen, and we're going to give a little bit of time. I like to usually give maybe 2 minutes. If I get no fill in 2 minutes, odds are probably good that there's nothing much going to happen with this report. But 2 minutes, which is a reasonable amount of time, will tell us if we're going to get any activity. And look, already you could see there's some movement on the yen. So my guess is we might get a little activity on this report. You never know. It's worth a shot. You can always get out. If we wanted to get out right now, we could cancel, go up here, kill it, and nothing terrible would happen. We'd be out of the trade. No harm, as they say, no foul. So we're still waiting. We've got about 50 seconds that have passed by. We've had a little bit of movement on the yen. Not tremendous. We're a minute almost into the report. You know, some people might say a minute, that's enough for me. No activity. I'm going to cancel. I'll wait for the next report. I'll look for something else. But I like to give it a little bit
Order
longer.
pending.
I like to give it a little bit longer, and bingo, we got filled. 2 contracts, not much movement after the fill. So what I'm thinking is, let me combine my 2 targets. Okay, what's the point of having 2 if you don't have that much activity? Like a trap trade, we're right above our R1 mid, okay, which is sitting on support there. And then our stop is just below the S1 mid, which is okay. Could probably go below the open of the day to bleed out a little bit of risk. Spread things out a bit here. So we're 651.49. We're not even 2 minutes into the report. We're profitable by $50. I kind of like what I see, so I'm going to move it up. I'm going to bleed out my risk a little bit. Move up so I'm right underneath these moving averages. It's going to take a little power to get through them. So you could see though, we're still, we've gone up a little, we've gone down a little bit, not a whole lot of activity. Let's speed this guy up, see what happens if this trade would have been worth trading. We're at 4 times the speed, 6 times the speed, and still there's not much movement. So what I might do is go to normal speed, bring my stop up, let it sit right about there, and let's see what happens if we bring up the speed to see if this report was worth trading or not. We're 4 times the speed.
Order filled.
Okay, so I pressed stop, it turned and went the other way. We made $25, and then I turned on the speed just for fun to see which way the report would have gone. And it looks like it's kind of chopping around, but the one very important thing to remember is always to check your range chart to make sure that your entry was a real entry, because remember now, a replay is a sim, so your fills are not normal. They're not like live trading. So it was at 1850 that this report would have taken place. Okay, right about here. So what I want to do is put the data box on, show the data box, and we want to see where our opening was at 1850. Okay, so I'll go over to 1850. We were 1850.49, remember, so I'll get as close to that as possible. And I can get about 1850-20 really. Uh, and I had a bracket of 3. So our open was 81065. Our low was 810640. Forgive me, I was in the wrong place. Bear with me. I'm going to pause for a second. I want to do this intelligently. Okay, so when I check our entry and the open with the data box, you can see that we were only one tick away from the open to where price started to move up. So we had a bracket of 3 and we only had one tick of movement, which tells me that my entry was real, okay? Because we were here, we went down 1 and then we went up. The most we could have gone down was 1, but we really just moved up, filled us long, so it would have been a real trade. Uh, that's what you want to always do on a sim or a replay. Check either with the data box, the 1 second chart, however you do it, just check and make sure that you didn't move up and down outside of the bracket, negating the simulated entry for the trade. So this trade could have made 25, 50 bucks depending on how you would have managed it. Maybe longer if we would have stayed in longer depending on what the price action would have done. But so that's one way I would look for this trade. Maybe not exciting enough to take it, but I'll test another one and I'll show you that recording soon. Thanks.